Hi guys, it's Dr. Christina here. Today I want to talk to you about how to prepare for exams, especially in the 1 to 2 months before exams. Okay, because a lot of you has written to ask me about it, so I thought I'll just make some videos for everyone so that you could all hear about this important information. And remember, I'm your study coach, so if you have any questions, ask me. I'm here to help you do better, okay? Don't be shy, just send me a message on Facebook or email me, anything. Okay, so there are two topics I want to talk about today. First is how you should split your time during revisions, and secondly is how to use your best resource to improve your grades. So for the first one, how to split your time, I would recommend doing a 30-70. 30% of your time should be spending on general revisions, whereas 70% of your time should be doing exam practice questions. Doing exam practice question is the single most important thing you could do to boost your grades. It is proven the most efficient study method, and I love the exam questions. It could help you find out what you don't know. The best part about it is they normally have an answer key. When you find out that something you don't know, you could just look it up right away. It saves you so much time from looking through the textbook, and it is so efficient. Well, if you have 1 month before the exam, you have time. So make sure that if you see something you don't know, you actually understand the answer before you move on. Don't just memorize it, try to understand it. And apart from helping you recognize what you don't already know, you should also be practicing pattern recognitions. Practice to understand how they ask questions, how they phrase a questions. You know, they always have this really particular way of phrasing questions to ask about certain things. Make sure you know what they're asking when you see a questions. When you see those keywords, you're like, I already know what they want in the answers. And I also mean pattern recognitions in the answer. You probably noticed by now, when they say A, B, C in the questions, they are always expecting X, Y, Z in the answer. So one of the common mistakes I see students make is that they think the answer is quite similar. It kind of means the same thing. They know it, so they move on. Do not do that, okay? Always try to use the exact word they use in the answer key. I will repeat that again because that is very important. Always try to use the exact word they use in the answer keys. So after practicing a lot of questions, what you should be able to do is that when you see A, B, C in the questions, you automatically put X, Y, Z in the answer. And you know those are the exact word they use in the answer keys. Reason being, like when you do for exams, you know, the teacher who marks your exam, actually they could be a teacher from a different subject. When they see a similar words, they don't know whether or not they could give you the points, so they don't. That's why it's very important to use the exact words. So some of you might ask, if doing practice exam question is so useful, why should I still do general revision? Looking through notes and reading through textbook is a lot slower, but why should I still do that? Because if you have done enough practice questions, you would have realized actually most questions focus heavily on a few topics only. You would be practicing majorly on those few topics, and you also want to catch up on the rest of the topic just in case this is the year they throw in new questions. If you only do practice questions, it's a little bit like a gamble. If you're lucky, and most of the time in scientific subject, it's not that many new questions, you could still do quite well if they ask for similar questions. But you never know when is the year they're gonna put in new questions. You never know when is the year where they're gonna like phrase things completely differently or ask about things in a different angle. What you would know is that they would only be asking from the same syllabus. So, you know, 1 to 2 months before exams is actually quite a lot of time if you use it well. Okay? If you use it well. So, do you remember to reserve a small portion of your time? I would recommend about 30% to look through everything. so that you could have a reservoir of knowledge to face all the new different questions that they could throw into you, especially in the humanities subjects such as English and economics. So the second thing I want to talk about is how to use your best study resource, which is past paper. You know, I always think past paper is my best friends for exams. And we just talk about one way of using it, which is practicing the question for it. When you don't know the answer, look it up. But that is another way of using it that most students don't do. And if you do this, it will give you a huge advantage over other students, which is doing it under time condition. Doing the past paper under exam conditions. Okay, when I say exam condition, I mean exam conditions. Like whatever you have during exams, you could have those. And whatever you don't have during exams, you cannot use it during the time exam conditions. If the exam is a 2 hours paper, set aside 2 hours, you know? Print out the exam paper, the full exam paper on the table. Set a time, say I'm gonna do it at 3 p.m. today. Open the door at 3 p.m., walk in with whatever, the only thing you could bring into an exams. Meaning not your notes, not your textbook, and not your mobile phone, okay? Whatever you could bring into the exam and whatever you would actually bring into your actual exams, bring it in. And get your parents to help you or just set an alarm at 2 hours. When the time's up, you stop doing it. Or if you finish it before, do what you would do in an exam, which is go through the paper. When I say have everything you want to have in exams, you want to make sure that situation kind of make you tense up a little bit if you tense up in exams. What you want to do is to prepare yourself in that exam condition, is to get used to that exam condition. For a lot of students, actual exam day is their first time that they have been put into an exam situation. So they get really stressed and they blank out. You want to make sure that's not you. I want you to practice doing an exam paper under exam condition for at least 3 times. Ideally, you will be able to find 3 fresh new past paper that you have never used before and do it. What you want to train is how to respond under stressful situation. Like, what are you going to do when you see questions that you have never seen before or questions you don't understand? You can never prepare for every single question that is going to come up for exam, but you can prepare for facing the unknown. It's like when soldiers go for practice, the situation they practice it would never 100% simulate the war, but they're so good at practicing like with new unknown situation. They're so good at responding. They practice responding to the unknown so many times that they can remain calm in the actual war. They could remain calm when things they don't expect happens. And I want that to be you. Okay? I want you to walk into exams, even if you see a question you completely don't know. I want you to be able to remain calm and be like, okay, this is a question I've never seen before. What am I gonna do now? I'm gonna stay calm and these are the steps that I'm gonna work out. So a quick summary from this video. First, you wanna split your time 30-70. 30% of your time should be used to do general revisions, which means reading through everything. Make sure every part of your curriculum is covered, that you glance through it at least once. And 70% of your time is doing past paper questions. I want you to do that mix. So like, you know, every day it should be about 30-70. Not 30% in this 2 weeks and then the next 5 weeks is past exam question. No, every day should be 30-70. Secondly is that I want you to practice doing a paper under exam condition for at least 3 times before your exams. That's the minimal. Ideally, if you could do it 5-6 times, that would be awesome. So try to plan in 1 session a week. It doesn't matter that you still haven't have time to cover all the topic. It would help you, and it would help you train you to work under pressure, and that's really what you're working on when you're working under time condition. So don't be so focused on like, oh no, like I haven't covered all the topic, if I do it now I wouldn't do it well. What you want to train is your response under stressful situation. So I hope this helped. If you have any question, write to me. I'm always happy to talk to you and answer your questions. Good luck!